Hello, hello. All right, those are the picks. We've got a 6 to 8. Ludi, thoughts?
I have to say I'm very impressed with Clio's picks. That's a lot of objectives right there. I mean, they're easily doable as Venice, though. You start with the world port already. You have easy access to Africa, Asia, Europe, right? But
it's a 9. Sorry, good
but
point.
But if you miss one objective, that's -2 points. So that's really ambitious.
Yeah. It's very bold, and what we want to see here is big plays, putting the points on the board, going out there, making sure that you're actually putting yourself in a position to get a really good number of points, and she's done really well on that. Aldra's, the nation picks became fairly clear to reveal a little bit to you guys in chat. Me and Ludi were a little bit worried that Clio thought she was going to be able to play as Castile, which of course would not be allowed, but we're very grateful to see that no, it's the Venice pick, and the straight crossing was what made me realize, like, oh no, of course it's going to be Venice. And I think that makes a lot of sense there. We've got Aldra's perspective here. And we're going to be looking from Aldra for, remember, an Imperial Reform, 8 subjects, 20 war exhaustion, 20 forts, force limit full of cavalry, and 10,000 ducats. What's he going to struggle with most? Do you think, Ludi?
I think the main issue is going to be a little bit of good RNG in the early bit of the campaign. But I think all of his objectives are easily doable.
They do seem pretty easy. I mean, the reform is almost automatic as long as
the reform is a guarantee, pretty much. I mean, it's almost a guarantee.
Yeah, it's one of those challenges that basically requires you to pick Austria, and then in future games, assuming Austria comes out on top, we're going to see. But okay, I think the time has started. I didn't even realize. Okay.
All right, let's go.
I think the time is ticking down. No further ado. All right, I think we are done. And yes, look at that. Let's go over to your observer perspective here. We can see that Clio has claimed her first point, the first point ever in the Paradox in the draft. They have got the straight crossing from Venezia to Treviso, and that is 1 point already in the bag. Easy. Nice. I think the timer is ticking down. I'm not certain if our players have been told to go. Ideally, if we could reset the timer and then give our players the go signal, that would be good. Because I don't want them to be missing the first few minutes there. So we'll pause it there. But I think I'm going to put the predictions now down. In fact, no, actually, Ludi, I'd like you to predict, not in terms of number of challenges, but in terms of number of points. Who's going to win? And then I'll root for the other one. And then we can have the dynamic.
I mean, obviously, if Clio does all the objectives, and she already has finished one, right, by starting as Venice.
Yep.
She can easily win this, though.
Of course.
I don't know within 1 hour if it's doable, because it would have to be speed 5, obviously, and I hope Parsek's going to be able to handle that. I still remember the last time we did it was a little bit laggy, so if Parsec does speed 5, then it should be easily Clio.
Yeah, I mean, I think it will. Remembering, just for the benefit of people in chat, this is a local multiplayer that the people are parsecing into. So it should be able to work at high speed. But without further ado, I think we should get this show on the road. Let's give the go signal, and let's start the timer going. Let's start the game going, and let's see how well they can go. We've got messages being sent. We've got pings going out. We've got timer started, and with 60 minutes on the clock. I think Clio could do well. What are the things that are going to cause her real problems? 100 prestige and 100 legitimacy. It's worth noting, and I will clarify the verbiage on this. 100 legitimacy will count if it's Republican tradition or goodness, I've forgotten. What is it called when you're a theocracy?
Devotion.
Devotion, thank you. I thought I was thinking divinity, but that's not even a word. But yes, 100 devotion or 100 Republican tradition would work. Having 100 Republican tradition, kind of a nerf, right? I mean, that's a difficult thing to have, because when it means you haven't been re-electing your guys, meaning that you're going to be in a difficult position. And of course, they can't bank that point right at the start because they don't have the prestige. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Divinity is a word. I know divinity is a word. I was genuinely thinking of a word that was like There was divinity as opposed to divinity. But anyway, my crazy brain aside, let's take a look at some opening moves here.
So on Clio's side, we've got a pretty standard opening. A few weird choices with the estates, but I'm guessing she knows what she's doing, what she's got planned here. The nobility integration policy is definitely a little bit early on, since she's going to need 10 years to integrate Naxos, which I'm assuming is what she's going for to get the other objective. But that being said, she can easily expand her influence in the Mediterranean and can have an easy war against the Ottomans early on. Get those provinces in Asia. She already has Europe. She just needs Asia and Africa. So she has a quick war against the Ottomans, maybe a quick war against the Mamelukes, because she can get a claim from Crete. Or if not, she can just snake through the Ottomans the hard way. There's a lot of different options, really. Even getting Cyprus if she wants. Actually, Cyprus starts off as guaranteed by the Mamluks, so she would still have to fight the Mamluks, I guess.
Yes, indeed. We'll see. Meanwhile, over on Aldra's perspective here, let's take a look. So obviously, playing as Austria, passing the reform, not going to be too difficult. That's basically just a waiting game. Filling the force limit with Cav, not that difficult, but annoying and kind of expensive. Bear in mind, he doesn't have to have his entire army be Cav, but he needs to have, if his force limit were to be as it is now, 63 units of Cav. 63 units of Cav, quite a few. And so we are going to see how many, whether he's able to do that at the right moment. Combining that with 10,000 ducats, I don't know. I think 10,000 ducats is, I set these numbers, so I would say this, but I think it's a good number. I think it's quite high, especially because players obviously want to run close to that, or often run fairly close to that bankruptcy threshold, especially near the end of these 60-minute games. The fact that he's gonna have to have this big pile of cash is gonna be difficult. Oh my lord, though. Let's take a look over at Clio's perspective just for 1 second, because she's got the trade mission done. That is impressive. In fact, let's go to your perspective, Ludi. Show us how much trade cash she's managed to get so far. Because I did not know that Venice could complete that immediately. Only 10. And what is the global income on trade? I mean, that seems extremely fast for that to be the highest. I am impressed. Clearly some preparation has gone into that. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Actually pretty impressive, yeah.
Absolutely is.
She probably used the edicts, I'm assuming. Not even using the edicts. Okay, that is...
Not even with the edicts. Don't need to.
That is definitely impressive.
Well, there you go. Venice has a powerful
Venice is where the
start.
money is, for sure.
I want to know where her mind's at, though. Let's go from looking at this from Clio's perspective. Okay, there's a spy network on Byzantium. No great surprises there. Going after Milan. Okay, interesting. Milan is an interesting choice.
She's going to get a lot of... Obviously, she's going to get a lot of gold from Kosovo, right? So that's a priority. They usually ally the Byzantines. This time they allied Bosnia, which makes it even easier. So she can have two separate... Oh, that is really good RNG. She can have two separate wars, Serbia, Bosnia, one war, Byzantium, the other war, and she can basically secure the Balkans, prevent any sort of expansion for the Ottomans, and then just smother in the Ottomans and attack them before they get their military tech high up enough.
Yep. Very nice. Would be certainly a coup if she could pull that off. Meanwhile, over on Aldra's perspective, a little bit of a problem going on here. Perhaps declared that war a tiny bit early. That's a yikes. This is a unification war, which surely he'll be able to pull out in the fullness of time. But that's not a great start. It's not a great start for Aldra, with the troops sent packing as they flee south, having declared with low morale. We have all been there, chat. We have all been there. But that's not perfect. Wien under siege, and oh no, please Lord, don't stack wipe him with 5 units. No, okay, they should be okay. They did manage to retreat. Oh my lord. It is not going Aldra's way. Aldra is typing in chat. Oh no. Aldra has in fact completely restarted. All right, we'll stick on Clio for a second here then.
So Clio's doing pretty well. She's already attacked the Byzantines. She's gunning for the southern bits here. so she can secure Morea and Athens, and she's already sending troops over to the Byzantine parts. She's got more than enough ships to deal with it, so should be fairly fast as well. I'm assuming she will get a spy network in the Ottomans soon enough so she can get that extra siege ability and everything else that she needs to get for them. Probably would prioritize the Serbia war after the Byzantine war.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm curious why the war with Milan. Do we have theories on this?
Well, probably has to do with one of the objectives.
Yeah, all right. I think we can say that about everything that our players do all evening, but I think it might have something to do. Yeah, but I'm curious which. I mean, there's, obviously everywhere, lots of places start with level 2 trade centers, but that's not going to be that useful. I'm going to let you talk for a second just while I get back into this game.
Yeah. Well, obviously she's going to get the second trade port from Constantinople, I'm assuming, or any of the trade ports that she starts with, because she needs to upgrade. There's no level 3 trade port except the one she starts with, so she needs to get 2 more.
Yeah.
And even if she takes Byzantium, it's going to be downgraded once.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Precisely.
So she still needs to get it up twice, right?
Yeah. While we are looking at this Byzantium war, let's take a look at the current situation in terms of scores. Alja with his 6 challenges over on the left, and Clio with her 2 points already on the board on the right. But remember, it could all turn against her at a moment's notice, because while these challenges are locked in, you only have to complete them at 1 point, and they are then completed forever. There will be the possibility to lose points. I think World Ports, it's not terribly difficult. She does already have the 3 merchants, doesn't she? So because remember, you can only have 1 level 3 trade center per merchant. But the actual technicality there isn't that bad. The 2,600 ducats, sorry, 2,800 ducats. Am I crazy? No, it's 200 then 1,000 to do the upgrades, I believe. So 2,400 ducats. Not too crazy, but we'll see.
I'll let you do the maths over there. I'm not really good with mathematics.
Excuse me? This guy, the runs this guy puts out saying he's not good at mathematics.
I'm just winging it, man. I think the reason she's going to go to war with Milan, though, is probably for the matching terrains or just to get like a humiliation war or something. Does she even have them as rival? Let's check. She's got Milan, Savoy, and Papal States. I'm assuming either humiliation war or maybe for the matching provinces, albeit there's other areas where she can get the matching provinces a lot faster and for less aggressive expansion. Because even if she does take the 3 farmlands from Milan, it's going to be a ton of aggressive expansion if they're still in the HRE. So she's going to need a little bit of RNG. Maybe they leave the HRE or something of the sorts.
Yeah. Very fair question from chat. How is Clio going to do the 100 legitimacy? I should note that this is 100 of the stat. I can't remember what it's referred to in the code, but the stat that legitimacy is. So 100 Republican tradition, 100 prestige will count. Aldra is now back in the game and going for his 2nd round. Bear in mind that if you yeet your run and you have to restart, you will have to go from 1444, but you do keep any points you've acquired. Not that will help Aldra, because as you can see, the man has no points. Let's take a look here at his path to success, because there is a way that Aldra could pull this out. So he's clearly going for the Bohemian mission to give him the claim, meaning that he's able to go in and yoink that throne. That puts him in a very powerful military position, obviously, to make things work here. Going for the Brandenburgian alliance earlier this time, okay, that's going to make things a little bit easier for him. Makes sense.
Is Brandenburg rivaled with the Saxony?
With Saxony, yes. No, right. Saxony has rivaled Brandenburg, but not vice versa.
Can he get the alliance with Saxony, though? Because usually Saxony can be called in the Bohemian War as long as he promises them land. So because he allied Brandenburg, he cannot ally the Saxons now.
Right, yes.
See, because the Saxons have a vital interest in Keb always.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be close. And bearing in mind, people saying he should just loan his way up to the 10k. He can't. He's only got 55 times 87, which Ludi will now tell you how much money that is.
It's $1.5 million Zimbabwean dollars. I'll let you guys do the conversion there.
It's definitely not. But I think that's very approximately. I think you're looking at, it's got to be a less than 5,000, right? Slightly less than 5,000.
No.
So So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, you can times 55 by 100. I think you could probably manage that one.
Yeah.
But we'll
Somewhere
see.
around 1 million.
How's life going in Cleoland right now? Trying to get that max sailors, and in fact, it looks like she has got it. Nice. Very nice. Another point on the board for Clio. Bear in mind, if you were confused why Clio might have been drafting over top of Aldra, the number of points that our players are getting are going to be determined not only by whether they win their game this week, but actually the number of points they get. So going into week 2, Clio might be wanting to draft all the way up to 9 challenges, a very aggressive draft, in order to counteract the fact that, we might have Chewie later on drafting 10. She can't just set her sights on beating her current opponent. She needs to aim to beat everybody in order to secure her place in the eventual final. But right now, Ludi, let's go over to your perspective. We have a leader right now, clearly, in terms of points. How does it fall apart? How could this go wrong for Clio?
It could fall apart if she doesn't quickly enough capture the 10 provinces. The 10 or 15, provinces. I forgot how many it was. 15? If it's 15, that could be an issue. I'm not sure what kind of similar terrain provinces she has her mind on. There's a few that are easy to get from the Anatolian parts, to be fair, and the Middle Eastern parts, but then the war deal would have to be something more focused on the Anatolian bits rather than the Balkans. Because if she does go for the Balkan bit, then she has to do the Milan War in order to get the 15 provinces in time, right? So that's -2 points if she doesn't get. I'd say that is the most difficult one. World Port is easy enough. She can just loan up right now, so she can go full loans, and she can definitely pay off all 3 of the World Ports. She just needs 2 more. 4 age objectives. Well, let's face it, as the Venetians, you have basically the first one already. You just need to develop Venice a little bit more. And she has a mission to develop Venice twice, which is going to give her some tax anyway.
Good point.
So that one's done. Renaissance is going to be easy since it might even spawn in Venice. Let's see. Then present on 2 continents. Again, easy once she gets the other objective done for having 1 province in 3 continents. Accumulate rival, again, is very easy. I'm assuming that's what she's going to do with the Milanese. Like I said, she's going to accumulate rival, so she gets the objective for that. So that's achievable in the next 5 minutes, in my opinion, as soon as she finishes the war with the Byzantines and so on. But I assume that the world port's going to be done last, so she doesn't need to worry about the financial aspect. So
yes, that would make sense. That's definitely one to do later. Yeah. I mean, you need to make sure that you get to the right state. And then people in chat are saying the 15 provinces would be desert would be the easiest one. We thinking then a war against the Mamluks, or going into... I mean, how is she gonna...
That would be fairly smart to do, yes. Desert provinces, there's quite a few of them in this area, and they're really low development. I mean, look at this. You have 3 development, 3, 3, 3. Another one here is 8 development is the highest. Then you have in Tripoli as well. Sorry, not desert. This is coastal desert. So, yeah, you have... How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... 10, 11... 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, look at that. You just snake down. These are all 3 for development. 3, 3, 3, 3, and 5. So literally 1 war against the Mamluks and 1 war against the Tunisians, and you have all the lands you need.
Yeah, I mean, it really is looking... So the thing about the draft that I find so engaging is that these challenges, it's not that Aldra just randomly drew a bad hand here or something, right? It's actually that he's the way that he's set this up does now seem really hard, because I was looking at this while they were drafting thinking, yeah, Aldra got this under control. These don't seem that bad. These don't seem that bad. But now we're seeing it in play, how rapidly these things shift. One thing I do think happened is that Clio was given a free hand. She got to pick, it feels like, all of the challenges she wanted to be able to pick. There was no hesitation. It was just plowing through onto a bunch and yoinking all of the challenges. I mean, for age objectives, I think the development is obviously not bad. I wonder, yes, obviously the Mamluks will give her the 2nd continent, which is automatically as part of it. Yes, 20 war exhaustion, you just have to clear some no CBs. The thing is that you have to do it right at the end, and there's a few things that you want to do right at the end. Let's take a look from Aldra's perspective here for a second, though, because this is the 2nd attempt at this war, and this time he's got Polish support. So that should definitely make things quite a bit easier. Whether he will choose to honor the promise of land, which I assume was required to get Poland in here. It was indeed. We will see whether he goes with that, but we'll see. We'll see. 15 hills is another theory from chat in terms of the terrain type. There's quite a few hills in the Balkans, so it's plausible. But I don't know. I think that's gonna be interesting. We'll see though. We'll see.
So he needs to get 15 hills? Does he have the same objective?
No. I'm just saying. Chat was talking about Clio's objective, having to go up to up to 15. One thing that I think is really interesting from a metagame perspective is that if Aldra doesn't win today, and of course everything can change in no time flat, but let's say Aldra were to not win today, that means Austria remains on the table. Because only the winning nation gets taken off the board. Oh, but look at this. Not going great. Split forces here. Being bullied a little bit by the AI. Bohemia plus his their subjects coming in there. But might be able to get lucky.
Sorry to cut in. Actually, Chad is right. No. Whoever said that 15 hills. It's literally, I just checked now. It's literally one war against the Ottomans. You get the 15 hills. Because the Venetians start with 4 hill provinces. They got nice. Brescia, Bergamo, Friuli, and Treviso. So, whoever said that is correct.
What I want to know is, can we do a live adjustment of the leaderboard? Because as chat is saying, Bohemia, strong AI here, deserves some points on the board, really. I mean, it looks like Bohemian AI is really, really not pulling punches here and deserves some recognition at this point.
The way that the Bohemian AI usually does it is they go for the fort that the Austrians have by the border with the Burgundians, so it gives you enough time to siege down Prague and the other fort. You literally just need Prague and the other fort, 60% war score, even sometimes 50%, and they agree to the personal union, so it's not really much of a challenge. But I'm guessing he's also going to go for the money, because he needs to get that 10k, right? So
true.
He's probably going to go for 80% war score to get 25% for the finances. So he's going to have to make sure that they back off from his fortifications.
It's going to be interesting. Let's take a look over from Clio's perspective here. How are things going? Oh, look at that. Tell me about this beautiful thing.
Clio's already wrecking the Bosnians and the Serbians. There's songs in Serbia about the mischief and the devastation that these troops are causing right now. That's the level we've reached right now, I'm telling you. They're going to talk about this for centuries.
It looks that way. And this is going to be... Yeah, and whether... Following it up with the war against the Ottomans, though, I'm concerned. I mean, the Ottomans, they tend to go one way or the other in this patch so far. Obviously,
look at that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 provinces that are the same already. 11 if she takes Ragusa. So she can easily do this, right? She can take these provinces. That's 10 provinces. Then she can attack the Ottomans. She only needs to take 4 provinces from the Ottomans. Then she can take Ragusa and break the truce with the Ottomans, and she can get the money from the Ottomans in the First and the Second War. She can make the Ottomans pay for the world ports. She doesn't even need to take the loans. So that's really that's a really good point there.
And chat is asking, is there a full list of possible challenges? Not just now. It's a good point. We will make that, and we will make that available for you in the future so that you can have access to that for future weeks. But right now, we can take a look again at what our players are actually going for, and we can stay focused on this for a moment. I think, obviously, the 15 matching terrain provinces looks like it's going to be fairly easy to get here. The 3 world ports, not too bad. Diplomatic Annex Vassal, obviously not going to be too difficult. You have to imagine that the 3rd continent, apart from... Well, actually, which Asian land is she going to get? Assuming we're going, obviously, Europe, Africa, Asia. What Asian land do we think is most accessible? Because remember, Anatolia, of course, most of it anyway, almost all of it, is in Europe, according to EU4 terms, which is what we're using.
Well, I mean, she can take Asian lands in the Ottoman War, I guess, right? Is that all a part of Europe? Let's check.
It is all a part of Europe, yeah. And if I just bring it over to my perspective here, I'll show everybody the map mode. It's a bit confusing because there are these subcontinents, right? One called Eastern Europe, one called Western Europe. That's not all of Europe. If we looked here, Anatolia, the region, almost all of it is in Europe. And we're using this tooltip is the determiner of what's in Europe. So all the way over here is the boundary. of Europe. And
Actually,
then down
Clio
here
already
we see-
has one province in Asia in the Ottoman lands. Aintab is in Asia. And the Ottomans already took Dulkadir, they took Aintab. So she doesn't need to do a war with the Mamluks at all. She just needs to do a little bit of snaking, or she can just do literally just a little bit of snaking. Because Karaman's going to be in the war. So that means that she can take Ichel, Adana, Aintab, and that's it. That's and the money. And that's your two objectives into one, right? Literally
that was a really good roll then on getting Dulkadir getting yoinked that way. So that there was a nice line down to that. Okay, beautiful. But then, of course, that's 2 continents. She'd still need the African province.
I mean, Africa's not much of an issue, though, to be fair. She can just no CB Tunis or something.
Yeah, could go. Tunis allied to... Oh, well, sorry, no, that's not my game. Let's take a look from your perspective.
Tunis is allied to Grenada and Morocco. Could be anybody else. Could be Bazan, depending if the Mamluks are going to join. I mean, she can just go easy mode, claim on Mamluks and attack them. Because Mamluks right now is just allied to Fezan, and they have the starting vassal, so they're honestly a little bit of a easy target. Less troops than the Ottomans by far, so... Plus, she can just bring her troops by the border once she takes the lands from the Ottomans, right?
It's true. I mean, it could all fall apart. It only takes 1 or 2 really bad battles against the Ottomans, and we could see a.
Or now that I think about it, she doesn't need to do a war against the Ottomans. She can just do 1 war against the Mamluks and win the whole thing. Because let's check it out, right? If we go to the map mode, she can just take a couple of hill provinces from the Mamluks. Do they have any hill provinces? Let's see. Anything here? No, actually, they don't. Wow, I'm surprised. I always thought that some of these are hills.
No, it's remarkably
she could
flat
get
down
hills
there.
from somebody else. Maybe Milan?
Do we think we should count the pyramids as hills?
That would be... She could take Milan's Parma province and Modena, and then she'd get the hills, if that's what she's going for, right?
True.
And she can just do the 1 war against the Mamluks, take 1 province in Africa, 1 province in Asia, and that's it, and some money, and upgrade the ports, and she literally got it all.
Pyramids level 3 should count as hills. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's take a look over here, though, because Aldra is doing a not unfamiliar tactic, going the war down here against Byzantium. Looking like Navy under a little bit of threat here, though. Didn't really build up the required Navy and get sent packing, but did manage to grab a province, so hopefully retreated that Navy into port. Yes, did indeed. Not really sure. Let's take a look at his objectives. What is the game plan here for why Aldra has decided to push down into Byzantium? I mean, we're looking at just having more subjects, do we think? Or just to try and weaken the Ottomans?
So let's see his objectives. Have 20 war exhaustion would definitely be done in this war if he really wants to push for that. Have 8 subjects is also easy to do because he can get the Achaea, Byzantium, and Morea from the south, because you can release Morea and Achaea in the south. And then you can also get Athens in the south. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 subjects right from there. You get another 2 subjects in Bohemia and Hungary. Do we count Bohemia subjects? Because then you literally have all 8. So
I believe I clarified that no, subjects of subjects do not count, but it's also worth noting he doesn't have 1 of Bohemia subjects because he gave it all to Poland in order to preserve that alliance.
I mean, he could always just diplo-vassalize Trent and Breganz and Salzburg. These are always accepting diplo-vassalization from the very start, the bishoprics. Or he could just go into Serbia, Bosnia also after he gets Hungary. So the subjects is not an issue for the Austrians. And he's done a 5-head move by going into Achaea, Morea, Byzantium areas. And Epirus is at the doorstep as well, so he can also go into Epirus after, right? So that's 5 vassals in 2 wars.
It's true. Looking like a bit of a dangerous situation for Aldra here, as we've got troops pushing up into Austria once again. It's not been a good time to be an Austrian so far in this series for Aldra, but we'll see. Now's a good time to mention, chat, that if you're enjoying the show and you want to keep your eyes fixed on future weeks, see where Clio and Aldra go from here, do follow the channel. I'll give you, obviously, all the notifications for our future shows. The Discord is also an excellent place to be to keep up to date of the latest things. If you want to show your support, subscribing on Twitch is a wonderful way to do that. Tell us that you want to see more of this kind of esportsy Paradox content in the future, and it will be our great pleasure to bring it to you. Someone else asks, who are the casters? Which is a good question. I don't know who this guy is. Ludi, who are you?
So they call me in the mines of Bhutan, he who shall not leave the house. But I just go by Lorenzo Lamas. However, my stage name is Ludi, so yeah.
There you go. You're on a stage right now, Ludi?
Yes, I'm on 2 stages. I'm very wide, so I fit.
Fair play. And I'm Christo. It's lovely to be with you all here this evening. We'll see what's going on. I've played a little bit of EU4, so hopefully I won't discover too many things. I really liked chat earlier, talking about it's just 2 casters learning stuff about Venice so far, which I think is hilarious. There's always more to learn. There's always more to learn in EU4, but we'll see. Managing pretty well. Aldrahill has managed to drive the invaders out of his homeland, managing to get that siege done down here. I don't know what his next play is, really, because his objectives are so nebulous. When you can see what's happening in Clio's side, you know, there's more sense of direction from the challenges, whereas on Aldra's, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. Speaking of Clio, let's see.
Yes, Clio, I'm definitely telling you, has done this many times. So there's been a lot of practice runs. I can tell from how well executed this is. The question is, what if the other person picked Venice? That would have been the ultimate.
That would be really difficult. I mean,
all you'd have to do is check one of their streams, I'm guessing, and find out what country they're testing out, and then pick that country before them. Be like, yo, now all your plans are ruined.
I think it's certainly going to be interesting to see how that meta game develops as the show continues, because the player who picks the most challenges gets to pick the country, right? So let's say you've really been grinding Venice. Let's say Clio's been grinding. I don't know if she does. Chat has been giving me the impression that she has, but let's say she's been grinding Venice. That might force her to take additional challenges that she didn't want to take in order to secure her Venice pick. Right? Because that's the only way that you're going to be able to really lock that pick in and make sure you keep it all for yourself. But we'll see. Over briefly onto Aldra's side here, and we can see that yes, the Ottomans have declared war on Byzantium. So if he went for that vassalization, it would result in an immediate war with the Mamluks, which would be bad in some ways, but would be a defensive war. So he could call in Poland and Lithuania in against the Ottomans, which could be good. We'll see. I think at 50% though, he didn't quite get enough provinces to be able to secure the vassalization. So we'll see. Just piecing out Wallachia. Okay. It's gonna see.
Not vassalizing Wallachia?
No, I'm not certain he managed to get the capital siege. So it'd be quite tricky to do that. I think in that situation.
Wait, I'm confused. Why is Byzantium mostly occupied by the Ottomans? What?
Yes, it's unfortunately, I believe the main landing party down into Moria was driven out. It's not so good.
Oh, that is no bueno at all.
We'll see. But I really want to know where Clio's going with this Italian war. I mean, there are lots of nice little small things to subjugate, but reminding ourselves of her challenges, she doesn't really need that many subjects, right? No, she doesn't need any subjects, just one annex. That's it. I mean, she's doing a humiliation war for the. Understood.
What did you understand?
That she's doing the humiliation war. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense. So, oh no. Okay, we need to go to. I'm sorry. I know we've been on Aldrahill for a while now, but we need to stay on Aldrahill for a second because he did, in fact, go for the war against the Ottomans. He did take that subjugation, which has now given him a defensive war. Oh my lord, though, which he is. Oh, and he's died for the second time in like 2 minutes. But look who he's managed to call in to the if we show you his diplomat mode here, look at this war that he has managed to create. It's Bohemia, it's Brandenburg, it's Poland, it's Lithuania, it's Wallachia, it's Moldova, it's Brittany, it's Holland, it's Brabant, it's Flanders, it's Byzantium, it's Aragon, all against the Ottomans. That is one heck of a war that he has managed to create.
That's the average Ottoman enjoyer right there.
Look at
the average Ottoman experience right there. Now it's even.
Chat's right.
Now it's even, okay?
Now it might be.
Now it's a challenge.
But chat is right. It's a crusade. This is Varna 2.0. The Christendom was not happy about the massacre they recently experienced down here. With, I think it was 3 European kings dying in a single battle, which was, I mean, it's an insane bit of history.
No. It was 1 king, actually.
Was one? I thought it was...
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
It was Vladislav II. He was king of
Right.
Poland, Hungary, and so on.
Yes, that's right. I'm counting it as 3 kings. It was 1 body, but it contained 3 kings. And look at that.
Yeah.
Look at this. It's like the HRE vassal swarm pouring down into the Ottomans. This is how the game usually looks instance after you click the revoke privileges button. But he's managed to get it going in 1453. I think we can say that Aldra is back on the table. This is very much back in this. Going to be able to take a swathe out of the Ottomans here. Obviously, lots of land he could feed back to his Byzantium vassal. Whether he'll want to do that or not. How would you piece this? I mean, if you're looking at this war, what's the player's Aldra to most solidify?
Well, he needs to take the forts also. He needs 20 forts, right? So he's going to have to take Sugla, Kocheli, Galibolu, Selanik. And he can take the other forts from Venice, by the way. He can take in a small war against the Venetians. They have a lot of fortifications too.
Yeah.
But he also has to take the vassals. So he's going to have to take at least 1 province from the Bulgarian lands, 1 province from... What else is there that he can release? Oh, there's so many in the Anatolian parts, actually. There's so many little beyliks that he could release.
Yeah. Chat's asking whether he lost the Bohemian PU. He didn't. Even with those 2 deaths, he did manage to get them very happy very quickly, which is lucky, because that would have been heartbreaking, I'm sure. Whether he's going to be able to cross the strait, I'm not sure. He does have... To. I mean, I agree that he has to, but will he? He has, obviously, Aragon in this war, but they're focusing their navy on Tunis right now, and
I mean, he doesn't need to go there. He can go... Sorry, he can go around through Crimea, though, because he just needs 3 military accesses, right? End of the day. He
could, but whether he's able to persuade his AI allies to come with him, and whether he can do it without them, is, I think, up in the air.
True. I mean, he could always assign objectives for his AI, click on the province, assign objective. That gives the AI a little bit more of an incentive to attack a specific province. But the AI does have to have a mobile, he has to have a pathing to that, so you would have to get the military access for them.
Yes, at which point, of course, they'd have the conditional. Interesting, the Ottomans are deploying their men into Moria and Athens, meaning that the... look at this, 100,000 men on 1 province in 1454. That's insane. But yeah, he's got the Ottomans on this side of the strait, meaning should be able to take them out. And then, even without allies... with a nice amount of casualties inflicted, should be able to go down. But yes, it's 100,000 men sieging a no-fort province. It's just AI things going on over here in Turkish Greece right now. But I know, let's take a look at Clio's position, because we've been locked on Aldra for a little while.
Yeah, so Clio's doing fairly well. She's going now for another war, apparently. Very warrior situation here. The war with the Pope is done, and we have the humiliated rival objective. We have the large city objective. The 2 cities, one is going to be done as soon as the 2 continents one is going to be done as soon as we get the lands from whoever that might be, because that's got to be 1 war done, right? A lot of focus on Hungary for some reason. I'm actually surprised. I don't know why. Like, I'm guessing for provinces of the same terrain, that would make sense. But yeah, I mean, it's probably easier than going against the Ottomans for the provinces of the same terrain, right? So then you would do Hungary and then Mamluks, and that's it. Nothing else. You don't even need to attack the Ottomans if you do that.
Yeah, quite a few hills. Well, not that many, but two hills in Hungary.
I mean, to be fair, it would be a war against Hungary and Austria, right? So but yeah, you would get Temesh and Hunyadi. Temesh, Hunyadi, and Belgrade, 3 provinces at the border with the Venetians. So you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, she needs 1 more from somewhere.
Worth noting, we are now 35 minutes into this challenge. Time is running out. These challenges, many of them, not very difficult individually, but the kind of race against the clock we're seeing here, we really need the pace to be picked up a bit, because if we take a look at the draft screen here, we can see that even Clio, obviously with her dominant start, only 3 out of 9 done, which means she could suffer a -3 point penalty. Because she'd be getting 3 for the ones that she's got, and -6 for the ones... Sorry, no, much worse than that.
Yeah, she would end up with -3.
-9, I think, actually, because she has 6 uncompleted, each of which would be -2. And that maths I can do. That's 12, baby. So that would be -9 for the total situation. But
so she really needs to rush that Mamluks War so she can get at least... Because the Mamluks War essentially means 3 objectives, right? You got the own land in 3 continents, and then it applies to the age objective, which helps her with the second objective as well. And then the prestige and legitimacy is also easy done from that one as well, because legitimacy is just basically using up your military points, and
yes,
the prestige from the war itself you can get.
Yeah, just making sure that that happens like at the instant that the war ends, because of course it's very unlikely we're going to be able to get +5 prestige decay, or rather -5 prestige decay, or +5 prestige for anything for these players at the moment. Although it's possible that Aljo was hoping to draft that, because looking at it, he does have 81 prestige and it's ticking up, managing to have the successful bid on the Imperial Crown mission completed and a few other things, meaning he's getting a lot of prestige tick up at the moment. Going to be easy, but there is the Aldra peace deal. Let's take a look here. Just vassal feeding Byzantium on this side of the strait. That is it's suboptimal. It's suboptimal.
That is very surprising.
And considering the alliance he assembled, he will not be able to assemble an alliance that powerful again. Almost certainly, you have to imagine.
No, and that's a really bad deal right there. I'm sorry to say, but. He had a great chance there to literally secure all the fort provinces he needed, all the vassal provinces he needed, the subjects, right? But now what he did, getting this really early on peace deal with the Ottomans, means that the Ottomans are going to get much stronger now. He's playing it on a 3 speed, and he's keeping it continuous without actually planning anything there. So what's happening is the Ottomans is, by the 1456, 1460, he's going to get much stronger than him, militarily speaking, right? So in the next war, he's not going to have the entire alliance that he had before, and he's either not going to win it or not going to get the results he's going to want to get from that war. So that was a missed opportunity.
It's going to be challenging. I mean, we'll see what he can pull out after this. I think the cash situation, I mean, not got much better. Obviously, hasn't grown his dev by a single point since the game started, so still only able to take 87 ducat loans. Not ideal. I mean, that's really the only way he's going to be able to get up into those serious cash numbers in a hurry. With only 20 minutes left on the clock, there is a non-zero chance. And he's trying to push speed 5, obviously struggling a little bit on that one, but we'll see. The Imperial Reform, though, has been passed. I'm not certain that he told us that. I do need to announce your challenge victories, but seriously good, obviously, getting the first point on the board for that, which is pretty nice. But yeah, not a huge amount going on now. I'm wondering what his next move is going to be. It seems like the play is just to try and let time go as fast as possible, rack up some cash, but honestly, with an income like that and then Burgundy asking for money as well, not looking too good. Let's take a look over at your perspective here. Show us the
So on Clio's bit, we started the war against the Mamluks already, and it's gonna be fairly easy. She can use the fleet to barrage Iskandria or Alexandria, and then afterwards can move into Cairo and just piece this war out in like 2 years maximum. It's fairly in the bag. Those 2 objectives are in the bag. Now remember, we still have to do the hills objective, right? And I'm not seeing any hills in Mamluk lands. Maybe I'm just blind. I don't know. I have this issue sometimes. I don't pay attention. But
I don't believe there are. I mean, I could. No. I'll hop over to observing the Mamluks, because obviously you don't have eyes on the full Mamluks there. But I don't believe so. No.
So that would be the only one she'd need to do another war for, right? That's it. Aside from that one, I mean, she's probably going to do that against the Ottomans, considering she's getting the claim on the Ottomans right now. She's getting a spy network on the Ottomans right now, right? She's also integrating Naxos, which means that she's got another objective done right there.
Nice. Okay. Okay, and pretty close battle in Alexandria, but did manage to pull through. Very nice. Another thing I'm hoping, and I should never bet against our players knowing what they're doing because they're pretty good at this, but I hope that she doesn't think that coastal desert counts as desert for province type, because it doesn't. Coastal desert would be a distinct type, but we'll see. Not looking like having too many problems. Raising up some mercenaries there.
I mean,
just to keep
the
things
Mamelukes
secure.
have a lot of coastal deserts. She doesn't need to worry about having to differentiate between the two. But I highly doubt she's going for the coastal deserts, considering she already has how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's it. She needs 4 more hills. 4 more hills. That's easy in the Ottomans. 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sugla.
Right? Not too bad. As long as she can get both. Is obviously spying on the Ottomans. Some really, really high level play from Clio here this evening. She's doing a fantastic job. I'm going to be, if she can get all 9 points, it's worth remembering, chat, that if somebody wins their round, they do get an additional 2 points. So the maximum number that Clio could be walking home with today after this round is 11 points. Obviously, a very dominant lead, almost the maximum possible number of points that you can possibly get in a single round of the draft. And we'll see, but some pretty big battles there firing off. Not looking too timely. Those mercenaries being sent packing. The siege on Cairo looking relatively secure, though. It's risky. Let's take a look, though, at the current scores on the doors, because I want to give Aldra credit. Look at that. 1 challenge completed. Hurrah, hurrah. He won't go down with no challenges completed, even if he may go down with negative points, which is currently not looking unlikely.
He can do the 8 subjects and force limit with cavalry, so that's out of the way, right? 20 war exhaustion is also easy to do. So if he just focuses on that, he doesn't focus on the ducats, he can do it. Even the forts he can do. He can do all of those except the ducats. The ducats is the hardest one in my opinion.
Let's keep eyes on Clio right now, because this war is riveting me. But Lone City has just started. Aldra has 4,000 ducats right now, and he has taken out almost every available loan, and the number keeps rising. I really hope he didn't think that was going to be what was going to get him up to 10,000. Let's take a look at Aldra's face right now. I want to see if he's despairing at the fact that he doesn't have enough money. I think this was probably to facilitate the fort construction and the cav training. With only 16 minutes left, that does make sense that he would do that. We'll see. There go the cav. Of course, in terms of subjects, he also has the capacity to release Tyrol, to release Styria. Are there any others that he's got right now? I don't think so. So he would have, that would be Bohemia 1, Byzantium 2, those 2 4. So where are his other 4 subjects coming from, realistically, given that we only have 16 minutes left?
He could release from Aquileia, from the coastal province in Trieste. He could also release Tyrol. He could release the green one. What's it called? The Styria. He could release. Scroll down a little bit. I'm not sure what else he has there. What lands he's got.
This is from his perspective, but I will. It's all good. I'll hop over here. I mean, we could see. Yeah, it's just going to be Tyrol and Styria in terms of releases, and obviously you won't want to release Styria until right at the end. In fact, I'm not certain you can release Styria, because I'm not sure what the primary culture of Styrian is.
That's a good point, actually.
I think it might be one of those tags that's slightly odd, in that, because I think the primary culture of Styrian is Austrian. So can you still release it, even if Austrian is your primary culture? Yeah, you can. Okay, good. So he wouldn't have a problem there.
But that still would be 4 subjects short. So he would have. Oh man, he really messed up with that Ottoman War. Oof.
I mean, could he, given enough time, he could integrate Byzantium, and then that's 4 subjects, because he can do.
It's like 68 to start integrating, and that's a lot of provinces. He could seize lands from Byzantium. That would be his saving grace. He could seize 2 provinces in the south, release Morea and Aquileia from the 2 provinces in the south. And then he could seize another province in the Bulgarian part, so that's the 3rd one. So you would have Bulgaria, Aquileia, Morea, Byzantium, 4. And then, that's 4, right? Yeah. And then you would have Styria, Tyrol, Bohemia, and Friuli. There you go. 8. There you go. That would be his 8.
Good work.
8,
Good work.
countries.
That's something that we haven't done yet, actually. Let's give a little bit of a hello to Aldra. And the fun part about this is I'm not sure he knows that we can do this. Hello, Aldra. Good luck. We just want to say that we're rooting for you. I'm not certain. We can hear you, by the way, on stream if you talk right now. I'm not certain you know that, Aldra. I'm not sure he does. Never mind. We'll say goodbye to Aldra again. Let's hop over. Okay, and Clio has another point on the board. Let's have a look.
Yeah, she's got provinces in Asia here, Africa, and Europe.
Yeah. Okay, nice. No messing around. Very easy. Yeah. 2 provinces, 1 Asia, 1 Europe. Let me just check, because I'm obviously those should be Asia and Europe, but I just want to check that they are actually kind of canonically so. If I can grab a regions map mode. Yes, indeed, confirming that Gaza is indeed in Asia, and I'm not even going to try on the other one, is in Africa. Okay.
And
good.
She's very close to getting 4 age objectives as well. It's literally just needs to embrace Renaissance in the rest of the provinces, so that's just the passive thing. She could start the Golden Era. I mean, it's there, so might as well. Helps with that extra bit of morale of armies, with the extra bit of morale of navies. All power costs, goods produced.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look here. Chat asking what's the goal. Just to remind you, these are the challenges that our players have set themselves. That is right. We here at Speed 5 can be a little bit sadistic, and today we have made our players make a rod for their own back. They have had to pick which challenges they're going to have to set out, which means that when Aldra, as it looks like he might, ends up with not a huge number of points at the end of the day, we can say, well, Aldra, you set it up. You set it up. These were your picked challenges. But we'll see. We'll see. Looking pretty good. Over on Clio's side, the challenges that she's trying to rack up still are the 100 prestige, 100 legitimacy. Shouldn't be too difficult, although not too high on the prestige side of things right now. So we'll see.
She can easily get that. Out. All she needs to do is a couple of wars against small nations and make the small nations cancel rivals. That's 9 prestige just from a couple of OPMs. Say, for example, she can attack, I don't know, anyone that's not in the HRE that's close by, like Ferrara or whatever. Well, actually, are they still in the HRE? Did the Shadow Kingdom trigger? No, not yet. So she could attack Naples, for example. There you go, Naples and Ferrara, because Naples is allied to Ferrara. And she could easily get a claim on Naples, make Naples, either get some provinces from Oh, actually, hold on. Does Naples have hills? It should have hills.
Oh, good point. Yeah, Naples has 4 hills.
It has 4 hills. She doesn't need to do the big war against the Ottomans. She literally can do 1 war against Naples, get the 4 provinces in the south of Naples. She does 1 objective. She can also get the prestige from the Naples war together with Ferrara, right? Because they're allied to Ferrara, she can get from the Ferrara the cancel rivalry one, and then the provinces and so on from Naples. And that's pretty much it, really.
Nice. Makes sense. Over on our side at the moment, we're up to 6 war exhaustion, climbing pretty rapidly because of a call for peace caused by a unconditional surrender from the Teutons. Is this actually... okay. Wait, what? The War of... Oh, no, okay, that's the wrong way around. I was reading this wrong, but yes, he declared a no CB war up on the Teutons and is using that to crank up a bunch of war exhaustion just by staying at war. And the call for peace obviously is getting higher and higher and higher. In terms of the cav that he needs, he's up to 57 out of the number that he needs being up. There we go, dropped it down. I suppose he released somebody or lowered his force limit some other way, maybe... exploiting development or raising autonomy, but there it is, another point on the board for Aldra. Let's take it over to his perspective. 55 is his force limit. He has 57 units of cavalry. There is the cav mission completed. He did delete all the rest of his units as well, so we'll see. Prestige farming from battles could do. It takes a long time though. The really easy way for prestige is just peace deals with insignificant nations. You can crank up a bunch of prestige from cancelling their treaties and all that kind of thing. Who is this, by the way? Volgast. It's very rare that you see Volgast occupying Hungary. That's a good color combination. I like that. But we'll see. It's not looking amazing for Aldra, but credit where it is due. Look at that. We have 2 points on the board for Aldra so far. Very nice. Very nice. We'll see if he's able to afford enough forts. I'm not confident that he'll be able to. We'll see. But back over to your perspective, Looney.
So we already started the war against the Ottomans here. We're crushing them.
Nice.
We're stealing their children and making them become Venetian sailors, basically. That's what's happening here. Basically reverse Janissaries. We should have... Where is the Venetian special unit is my question now, you know?
True.
The Ottomans are trapped on this island. I would definitely send a ship here so I make sure that they are trapped here. Literally one ship is enough because their entire fleet is over here. So, she can get all of the Balkan area. Problem is that she would need to take the fort in Sugla or any sort of fort in Anatolia because she has to get one province that is hills from Anatolia, right? Which right now there's only 3 hill provinces in the Balkans, sadly. So yeah, it's going to be a tough one. She has to cross over to Anatolia, or
obviously
just
with
attack
naval
Naples
supremacy to make that not as difficult as Aldra had it, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I really like Clio's emotes in chat, by the way. There are some really good animated Clio emotes that are going through at the moment. They're fantastic. Only 8 minutes left on the clock here as we see some progression. I mean, it looks like Aldra is resigning himself to not being able to grab the 10,000 ducats, not being able to grab the 20 forts even, because we do not have a bunch of forts in construction right now, which I would have expected. Although, does he even have 20 provinces? I'm not actually certain that he does. Certainly not if he wants to release things. No, only 17 provinces actually owned by Aldra right now. So 20 forts looking a little bit out of reach. But we'll see. Oh my lord, as soon as I mention it, the US go absolutely bananas. They're good. They're good ones. I like them. All right. So in terms of points remaining, is there any way Aldra can end this week with a positive score? Because I'm not certain I see it. I mean,
I don't see it.
He can get the 20 war exhaustion. That's not hard.
I like to be surprised. I would love to be surprised and see that he does the 20 war exhaustion. I mean, he got the loans, so he could technically get the forts as well. He has the time. He doesn't
have the provinces for the forts. He has 17 provinces.
Oh god, wow. Okay.
And that would mean he couldn't release stuff as well.
Oof.
But I suppose he could build the forts and then release stuff.
I mean, he can get the subjects. He can seize lands from the Byzantines and release Bulgaria, Achaea, Morea, right? So and then release the ones in his own hometown, in his own country. So that's 8 subjects, at least that one. So then you come out with 0 points instead of -2.
Yeah, I mean,
you come out of the session with 0, you know.
I think it's gonna come out at minus. Yeah, I mean,
it might be minus a lot otherwise.
We'll see. Yeah, Chad is suggesting that we add the timer to the point screen, and I am delighted to say we thought of that. It's in the bottom right. It is a little small, but I assure you, the timer is down there in the bottom right. 6 minutes and 12 seconds. Does Clio have time to cross the strait?
She does. She does have time, yeah. It's gonna be close though. Definitely gonna be close. That Naples war would have been literally godsend. Now it's too late because Naples just allied France. Oof. Ouch.
Not going to happen in the last 6 minutes.
She could also peace out the Ottomans and go for a quick war against the Hungarians if they're not a PU. They're not a PU yet. So she could go for a quick war just for one province, and she could rush the capital in Belgrade. And then she could take Belgrade if she does that, right? Occupy a few more provinces. That's also
what age
doable.
Objective is she missing?
She's missing the one, 3 provinces with Renaissance. I'm guessing these are the provinces that she took from the Mamelukes. Let's check.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So she needs to return them.
No, she could just develop. Or return. Yeah, sure. But do we still count the objective if she returns them, though? I don't know.
Yes. The objectives, and this is a great thing that I'd like to have an opportunity to clarify. Your objectives are counted as long as you ever achieve them. You don't have to achieve them at the end. As long as you ever achieve them, then you get the point. So she would be able to return those 2 provinces to get it at the last minute, which is perhaps what she's planning on doing. But we'll see.
Right. That makes sense, yeah.
I want to know where Aldra's head is at right now. Let's go over to his perspective, because he has disbanded a huge number of his cavalry. He has gone, I think he went bankrupt. Yes, he's gone bankrupt. And so now more loans and then forts, but even then, how is he going to get high enough? Oh, and he pieced out before he got to 20 war exhaustion. Oh no, he didn't. He didn't. Excuse me.
No?
Excuse me. He's brought it down after having got up to 20 war exhaustion. Okay, nice. So that's some points for him there. Not too bad. He is now annexing Byzantium with 4 minutes left. It's going to be really close. He's going to have to hammer on speed 5. He can't afford to be pausing and swapping out. Although, okay, a Diplo rep guy is going to speed that up. But does he have time with 4 minutes left? Because if he can annex Byzantium, he can then release... Has he got a Bulgarian province? Yes, he can release... so he's got 2 right now. Bulgaria, 3. Moria... Moria 4, Achaea followed by Moria, 4, 5, Athens 6. He's done it. But is he going to have time? Because of course we are in a multiplayer lobby, and this is one of the many restrictions that our players need to work with. Is they're in a multiplayer lobby, which means the game goes so much slower.
He doesn't need to wait for the annexation, though. He can just seize the lands. I mean, how disloyal are they?
True. They're already at 36, but he's got the prestige to buy it down. Okay. Oh god, he's got the Burgundian inheritance. Don't worry about that.
That was lucky.
But yeah, that's.
He's got the subjects, right? How many subjects did he get from the Burgundians?
He's got 1 there. Let me look. No, just the 1, because he gets. In fact, it hasn't actually. He doesn't have them as a vassal yet. Right. They're calling him in. Yeah. But he'd have to win the war against France, which he's not going to do in 2 minutes 50 seconds.
And he's bankrupt. Oof.
And even if he demands the Low Countries, he didn't get the PU over Bohemia. Bohemia, this is actually one of the rarest outcomes of the Burgundian inheritance, I think. Bohemia is going independent.
Usually they go to France, I've noticed, in the recent patch, so...
Yeah, I was reviewing the code recently, actually. It's like a 12% chance, I think, in the end, because there's a decision tree involved. But it's very rare that they end up staying independent. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Is it
Bohemia could break? Oh my god, yeah, Bohemia. Yeah. I can't remember. It was a while ago that I ran the maps. I must say, yeah, Bohemia has pretender rebels sieging down Prague right now, so that's not ideal. But he's just trying to get there. But it looks like he's not going to have time in these last 2 minutes to be able to get it done. Unfortunately, it's a tragedy. Let's take a look at Clio's perspective and keep the points on the board here, because I want to know whether she's going to be able to get those final few. There it is, in fact, on
there you go.
Nice. There you go. Very nice. And the world ports as well. I believe it's Athens, Constantinople, Venice.
Yeah, nice. That is correct.
Very nice. And there we can see, obviously, things will switch over live. We're doing it live. And now it's the 100 prestige and 100 legitimacy. Can she get that? I think in 1 minute and 36 seconds, probably not. But we'll see. We'll see.
She needs one more hill province, though. Where is she going to get the hill province? That's the big question here. Or am I not counting the hill provinces right? Is there another one I'm not seeing somewhere?
There's the one in Ceres that she's got. Are you counting that one already? There's 3 there.
So we got Ceres, Gomulchina, Gelibolu, right?
She's claimed hill's done. She's claimed hill done.
Really?
Yeah. I'm sure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Is Gaza
Ragusa? Ragusa's not hers? 13?
No. I'm not sure where the final hills would be.
I must be wrong about this. If she says she got 15, she must have 15. Hold on a second. I'm being silly here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. She doesn't have the one from the...
She doesn't have the Urbino. No, I thought she got Urbino. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
And Corfu is not a hill, no.
No, it's not a hill, Corfu. Where is the 3 more?
I don't know. But we'll see. We can always come to it after. She does have 100 prestige, yeah. If we take a look at this points board here, we can see that she's... Oh, no, she didn't. Sorry, she didn't already have 100 prestige, but there we go.
We got 100 Republican tradition. That was the tough one. She used the military points for that.
Nice. But there is time. That is the end.
Time's up.
We are out, and I think didn't quite manage to get enough prestige, but that was pretty good stuff there, I have to say. I mean... Some impressive play from both players. We had 3 challenges complete from Aldra and managing to get 8 out of 9 from Clio. A heartbreaking finish, just not quite able to getting enough prestige. I mean, that is understandable. Understandable that the prestige would be one that you wouldn't get because, of course, get 100 prestige. It's a very simple task, right? But in the context of trying to achieve everything else that's going on in this challenge, there's just so many things that are coming at you from left, from right, from center. But I mean, it was a very good display. Obviously, Aldra struggling a little bit as Austria, meaning Austria will remain on the board. We will get some points totals for you in a second. But Ludi, just before we chat to Studio, how did that go? What was the defining moment?
I mean, I actually really liked the whole strategy that Clio had. She knew what's up, and she had everything planned. It was really smooth, really well done. So it was a pleasure to watch, honestly.
Absolutely. Let's get our host back in here and see how they found that one. Anders, that was a display.
It most certainly was, and it was partly exhausting to watch. No, but I agree with Ludi. It looked really solid. Clio came in with a clear strategy, and I think we can see that here if we're looking at the final completed quests. As you mentioned, Clio managing to get 8 out of 9. Aldra, unfortunately, at 3, and 3 failed. However, of course, that means that, assuming these are correct, of course, we are trusting our players here. That means that Aldra's final score is -3, and Clio's score would be 6. Have I got that correct?
Correct.
Yes. So
not quite. Clio's score would be 8 because she has 6 from her challenges, but she won the week, giving her a +2, bringing her back up to a much nicer sounding 8.
Yes. That is very true. Of course, we are updating all of these numbers on the fly in the back end here, and since it's the first week, some of those numbers might go up and down a bit. Christo, Ludi, I will see you shortly, but thank you so much for casting Game 1. I'm going to go talk to our players. Clio, congratulations. That was
thank you.
a strong start. Do you want to walk us through what happened?
Yeah, I got screwed over by so many negative prestige events. I don't know what I was floating at. I think I was like at 80, and then I got a bunch of negative events. And I figured, I'll get a lot of prestige from the Ottomans Wars because I'm their rival. But because I had to go fast, I pieced out early just for the hills. And because I did that, I didn't get enough prestige. And then I just ran out of time. I almost got it because I had two diets that I managed to do very quickly, so I managed to get back up to 78, but it wasn't enough.
Close, but no cigar. Aldra, speaking of bad RNG, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling particularly salty, but a great game, Clio. I'm really glad that you couldn't see me. I mean, I will admit, a lot of bad RNG. I lost my dynasty twice, no Burgundian succession.
Oh, no.
But the restart that I did at the beginning, fully 100% me, no defense, just didn't raise maintenance, threw my army into the dirt.
Oh no.
So I was playing from tilt from like minute 2, but I managed to get at least a few challenges. I don't know why I gave Byzantium a bunch of provinces, but that meant I couldn't annex them because it took too long. I would have got one more there. But...
Well, I mean, it was truly a tragedy. But it has done one thing, and I think both of yours play, Clio coming in and executing on that plan, and Aldra having horrible things happen to him, has hopefully taught the rest of our players what to do and what not to do. Aldra, Clio, thank you so much for being in the first game of the night. You're now free to go do whatever you want, but all of you watching at home, you should stick around because we're going for a short break, and then we'll be back with game 2.